but we got smacked, but we got smacked, but we got smacked, but we got smashed, bro. So
3, 2, 1, go!
What's up? It's your boy Levelhead back with another High and Level Gamers podcast. What's up, people? Can y'all hear me?
My bad. I was on mute. My bad.
Yeah, I was checking my mute as well.
Some on my end messed up too, so I need to figure out what's going on over here. What is up? Why can't I hear myself like I want to hear myself? But if you can hear me coming through on the cast, let me know if you hear me coming through. I can't hear myself coming through. I should be hearing myself coming through.
Let me check.
Testing. Let me see.
You said it, but I don't know if you know what it means.
Check. There we go. There we go. Hot mic. The boys up in here. I just didn't have my settings right on my Studio One. Yeah, I have a lot of things. What's up, dude? Why you ain't in here? I hear you, Level. I didn't hear myself. Now, see, it's good that you hear me, Leah, but I didn't hear myself, so I didn't feel comfortable talking without hearing me, because I like. Anyway, that sounds so arrogant.
Yeah, no. Ain't too far from the truth.
Wait up.
You ain't too far from the truth.
Y'all trying to say I'm arrogant?
I'm just saying you ain't too far from the truth. That's all I'm saying. You can put whatever adjective you want, whatever adjective you think you need to make that conversation work
like
for you.
The kettle calling the pot black.
Hey man, I'm just saying you ain't wrong though.
I am not. I am the farthest from arrogant. I can be anal. Sometimes. Going back upstairs. I can be anal, but I'm not arrogant. I can be persistent on the thought and the thing. I know y'all think I'm arrogant.
You can be
I can be consistent. Yeah, that part. I give you that. Y'all lucky I don't bring it up tonight, but I'm gonna let y'all
never
slide.
Gonna let you go away.
My video, y'all, I haven't been. I'm working on
Digital
a video.
Foundry, I'm in love with you.
I'm working on the video.
Never gonna let you
if you would
go.
hush up and let me talk.
Wait.
Oh, not again. Oh, Lord. You already hurt my feelings once. Don't do it again.
Let me say this, though. I went back. I did go back last week and listen to the cast. Me and K-Mom hadn't had. See, this what happened. So let me bring it out.
What had happened was.
What had happened was. I did get a little annoyed because I didn't get a chance to get my thought fully out. So I did say if you would stop talking and listen. I did say that. And I said here live on the Live and Level Games podcast. I apologize. I didn't. It was counted on the aggravation, not the heart. So I just wanted you to give me the opportunity to finish my thought. But I went back. I actually just listened to the cast literally before we jumped on. Because D2K, shouts out to D2K. He hit us up in the comment section, said that was a good podcast. So I was like, are you saying it's good, D2K, because me and K-Bomb was arguing, or was it good because it was good? And Keith, I don't want to hear nothing. Do you hear me? Nothing from Mr. Egg On. Look, this is what you do, bro. You egg on and then you go quiet. See, Keith be gaslighting y'all. I'm just telling y'all, Keith be gaslighting.
I can't. I get in where I fit in. I jump in. I'm double Dutch.
He be throwing lighter fluid on stuff. He be like, the flame ain't high enough. Take a little dose of this lighter fluid. We got any other thing that's combustible to throw on this flame? But we here. What's up, people?
Good, man.
To talk about on tonight. Nintendo had their Mario Kart World Direct today.
Yep.
And so we got to talk about that. Also, we got to ask the question, did they justify the $80 price for Mario Kart World? Keith has, I'm going to give Keith the floor when this comes because Keith said he has an argument for that they did. So I'm so interested to hear what he's going to say. We also got to talk about Yoshida. He said, I am disappointed with the direction of the Switch 2. And then we got to talk about the fact that the PlayStation 5 prices increased. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So it's, man, come on, it's in the window of the Nintendo Switch 2. So we still talking about Nintendo. Hopefully some new news come out, but right now that's
I mean, it ain't nothing the other two really doing to make us talk about them, except for Tony raising the price. So we might as well talk about Nintendo.
Microsoft and Rogue Ally did announce that they are working. That came out to be true that they're working together on their.
Oh, they officially announced it.
Yeah, well they confirmed it.
They confirmed because it was kind of rumored and it was like the little video they showed.
Yeah,
but I didn't know it was official. I mean, they confirmed it. Okay.
Yeah, they confirmed it. I mean, let me put it like this: the stuff that I've seen seems to suggest that they have confirmed it. I saw our favorite group, Digital Foundry. Keith, thank you.
You up in the house?
Thank you for the video. Digital Foundry was talking about it. And I saw a few articles on it as well. So I think they have confirmed it. And so we'll see. They kind of were saying they want to know what part of the system is Microsoft actually handling, because I think it was Rich who said we would trust it if Microsoft is handling the design and the, how it's going to work over Rogue Ally.
Okay.
It is the Rogue Ally, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so.
All right. So anyway, let me also ask this: have y'all caught the new trailer for Fantastic Four?
I was waiting to get home to see it with the wife, so I have not seen the new trailer.
Man, I have seen it. I sent it to y'all, so you didn't watch it. So
no, I saw it before then. I saw it before then that it was out, but I wasn't with the wife. We like to do those things as a couple.
I got and so K-Bum, man. That's why he winning and I'm not.
I mean, I got her into Marvel, bro. Like she's really into Marvel. So we like to.
My wife don't listen to this. I hope she don't.
I hope not either, brother.
You know why, bro.
Oh, I know why. Let
me edit that out right now.
No, I got my wife into Marvel, man. She's passionate about Marvel, right? We were rewatching Infinity War yesterday or 2 days ago, and it was at the end of it when they with Tony when Iron Man got stabbed in the chest or in the stomach with his own suit, and she gasped like it was the first time she saw it, bro. She was all into it, and it was just like the last 15 minutes of the movie we were watching. And she was like it made me happy. I'm like she's really into Marvel. So that's why I try to reserve big things like this new trailer, so we can kind of watch it together and watch and break down. So I'm whenever she get home, probably tomorrow, we'll be home together. Try to catch it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we call love.
Now I'll say this: my wife is actually into Marvel, but particular Pacific characters. She's a Hulk fan. Like I remember.
Oh wow, really?
When we first went to see the Avengers, and when when Iron Man told Hulk to do what he do, and Hulk hit that wall, my wife almost jumped out her seat. I have never seen my wife so giddy, smiling. Like I could see the hair on her neck and arms raised up. Her eyes was glowing and glittering. I was like, "Are you that serious?" It was a dope scene, though. I mean, I know y'all remember the scene when Hulk hits the wall and starts smashing all the what you call them, the Qatars or the Qatari?
Qatari. It's not Qatari. What is it?
It's not
Natari.
Some Tar. I know it's some.
Yeah, some Tar. Yeah.
But yeah, And then when Hulk took Loki and smashed him and said,
puny God.
She went
Oh my God,
nuts. So she is Avengers. She's a Marvel fan, but it depends on what characters is involved. She likes the original nucleus. All the new stuff, she kind of it just ain't holding up. I don't blame her, but she cannot watch to this day. To this day, she cannot watch the Snap.
Ooh.
She cannot watch the Snap. I remember we all went as a family. That because that was an event. So that was an event. I went early so that I could be on par, so that we can discuss it on the cast because I knew you was going to see it, K-Bum, and I knew.
Yeah, I was in Brussels, Belgium. When I saw it in Belgium actually at a 4D movie theater. So that was kind of dope. Anyway, yeah.
Well, no, we just saw it in a.
Slight flex. Sorry.
At least we had Lazy Boys. See, and y'all be talking about me. K-Bum be on here low key throwing. Anyway, so I remember when I went and watched it early, so I already knew. But we had about 20 people there, and I remember when the scene was finna hit, my auntie kept asking me, Ralph, what's finna happen? Ralph? I was like, no, I can't tell you. My wife, she all sitting there, and when Thanos snapped his finger, and they all started to disappear. And when I think Black Panther, when Chadwick or T'Challa disappeared, and all the different ones disappeared, I literally could hear a pin drop across the room.
Yeah, I heard somebody was like, not Black Panther.
Yeah,
it was sad.
And the gasp and so everybody's like, so this can't be in. And then when the credits started rolling,
tears.
And there was
tears.
There was no
tears, bro.
They was hurt. When we couldn't even talk about it. My wife refused to talk, and if I put it on in the front, she would not watch it. She would not watch the Snap. I'm like, are you serious? I don't like that movie. I said, But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. But
that's funny.
Did he come in that right?
Man, they was all hurt. Like I'm talking about some tears, like some swelling up in the eye. Like people really sleep on the cinematic brilliance of that moment. Like that's probably the best cinema. That's probably the greatest moment in cinema, probably ever. Like I don't think you can replicate that moment ever again.
You can't.
You can't replicate that. That goes down in history as the probably single most shared experience that everybody was in the same position, same mind, same understanding when they left. The fact that they left it at that place and did not. They dared and had the guts to leave it there and not give you hope. That was
a whole year.
Right. That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And the only other place that I can think that I kind of felt that way was maybe Matrix and maybe Miles Morales, the last Miles Morales.
The ending of Miles Morales.
The ending of Miles Morales kind of captures a little bit of that, but nowhere near close. But anyway, what's up, Alan Steve? And Comic Book Crunch. Welcome to the show. He said people were walking out mad at Star-Lord.
No, bro, my wife, we saw the scene again. My wife was like, it's your fault. And it's like 7 years later, bro. She still don't like Star-Lord to this day.
You know what? They just did too good. They did too good on that run. Like,
they did.
They set the bar so high. This is, Keith, listen to me, Keith. This is Jordan-esque. Nothing is going to reach it.
Okay.
He said nothing. No, I don't.
That was feeling good today. If he can say something like that, he feeling good today.
Nothing is going to probably ever top it. It's not going to be top no matter. It could be a better movie, but it's not going to top. That was just a moment that can never be replicated again.
How many years was it before we got to that point?
10.
Then it started
11, 10, 11.
10, 11, yeah.
10, 11. That was a long time to get to that. That was a nice build-up.
Yeah.
And they didn't disappoint.
Yeah, because my dad, man, that's the one thing I hate, man, about that was my pops passed.
He didn't make it.
Before we was able to share in that moment. He got to see the Avengers. So that, and the Avengers was like a 5-year build, and he saw the Avengers. And I remember coming over here and watching it here when I had bought my big TV and surround sound. He came and we watched it with the family down here. And so that was the only damper on it was I wasn't able to share it with him because he the one got me into movies and surround sound and all that stuff. That's where it comes from. But
got it.
But yeah, man, that was a moment. But anyway, yeah, welcome to the show. I know K-Bum hasn't finished, and Keith, I don't think you have as well. Man, I'm so looking forward to y'all finishing Daredevil. I need y'all thoughts on those last 2 episodes. I really do.
Is it over?
I think it is. I think this was the last one. It's supposed to be 8.
Then they're going to do another season.
Oh,
it's going to be season 2.
Yeah. Well, let me shut up.
Because it was supposed to be 20 episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
Or 18 episodes, but then they split into 2 seasons because one season was supposed to be 18, but they split it in 2.
Okay. I read that the other day. It did say it was, but they spinning off another character. So I just want to see y'all. I want to get y'all reactions from that. But anyway, that's the opening breaker. Let's get into what you've been gaming on, so we can get into these topics. Let's go. Yeah. You know what time it is. It's time for what have you been gaming on. Sing it, folks. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? 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 Gaming on, gaming on, gaming on. All right. Settle down, fans. Settle down. Who wants to go first? What you been gaming on? Let me go first. Let me get mine.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I haven't gamed on anything.
Okay.
Digital Foundry.
I believe it.
That's all I've been doing is gathering data. But anyway, go ahead. So who got the floor?
I'll go next. I haven't been. I'll go ahead and finish. I've still been playing Xenoblade Chronicles X. I'm trying to beat chapter 10, so I can move on. But yeah, that's still the only game I really been playing on.
Okay. Xenoblade Chronicles X. Have you been playing solo, or do you have any company playing with you?
Using like adding a downloaded character.
Oh, okay. No, you don't have to go into that, Keith.
Yeah.
Okay. Video game, are you playing Xenoblade? What have you been gaming on, ma'am? Anyway, and the rest of you, Alice Steed and Comic Book Crunch, what have y'all been playing on? I've been playing Life. Laugh out loud. Okay. Go ahead, K-Bone.
So I believe last time I talked, I did, because I'll be quick like everybody else, so I won't take too much time up. I believe last time I talked, I did say I beat Booty Blade, right?
I think, yeah.
I believe, yeah. So I beat Booty Blade, Stellar Blade. I got the new season of Marvel Rivals dropped last Friday, so I've been playing that. Finally got my brother back on video games, so that's dope. I've been playing with him on Marvel Rivals, and that's kind of it. I need to get. I'm trying to find another single player to get into, but I really haven't had time to get into another one yet. But I'm trying to find out which one's going to be the next one. I think I know which one I want to go to next, but we'll see.
So
that's why I'm gaming on.
So you said you beat Stellar Blade?
Yep, it's beat.
You said you beat it. You said that last. Did you say that last week?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember when the last time I played it.
I don't think you said you beat it.
I didn't say that.
I don't think so. But if you did, I don't remember. Go ahead. So how did you like the ending and everything?
And it was whack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did say you didn't like. I remember you saying you didn't like the story.
Okay. Yeah, that ended was whack, bro. It was yeah, it was whack. It's a big whack.
So it's
But
not worth
but
we're getting.
the gameplay is dope. It has a really good gameplay. But I don't like the soul. I don't like the soulness of games. Like I don't like the way they do it to try to be like Souls. Because it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Star Wars
Survivor. Man,
Survivor,
I
where
gotta get back.
when you have to, if you save, it respawns all the enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay.
And that Souls aspect. And I'm like, I don't care for that. Like I understand, but I don't. You're just intentionally trying to make it more difficult. I don't care for that. But it had great boss battles and stuff like that. It's a fun game. Just the story kind of let me down.
Okay. I gotta force myself to get back on Survivor. It's just that first stage, the place where you finally get to after that opening. The opening is dope. All that's dope in the opening. Then they take you to that bland world and want you to do bland stuff, and it just grew. It's just like I don't
Well,
care.
once you get past that, it gets the story gets good.
Because
Once you get past that blandness, the story does pick back up.
Because I was trying to open up that gate, and
Yep.
I'm be honest with you. If I may have to go ahead and go to YouTube and see what I'm missing, because that's kind of why I put it down. I'm at this spot where I'm trying to open up this gate and get into this spot to, I guess, clean up something or whatever going on there, and it was I was trying not to cheat, so I was trying to figure it out. And I kept running past the same thing. I turned a little thing that's shooting a little laser and all that. I turn it this way, I turn it that way. And it just isn't making any sense to me. And there's so many different routes that's, it's like there's no real direction. And I get it, but this ain't Zelda Breath of the Wild. It doesn't have the same appeal. Point me to where I'm supposed to be going. Don't have me running around in circles. Because I just got tired. I just put it down. I was like, man, forget this game.
You know what's funny about that?
Yeah.
You know those games are classified as like a Metroidvania style game.
Right. Yeah. Fetch question.
It has backtracking.
Stupid. Jabbing me.
I need to finish the game myself. I don't even know why I put it down.
Where are you at?
I have no idea.
You put it down because of them Metroidvania features.
No, I don't think I was actually truly invested in playing it. I think I just wanted to test it out, but I don't think I was really trying to play it like that. Maybe I just wanted to went back.
Boy. But anyway, so that's what we've been gaming on. So let's get into these topics and let me kind of pull some of this stuff up. So, as y'all know, today was the day that Nintendo had us so anticipating with the Direct for Mario Kart World. Let me hit some claps on that. And we was looking forward to this game's Direct, hoping and anticipating and believing that they was going to show us some awesome stuff. So, how many people here has seen the Direct?
I have.
You have. Everybody has seen the Direct. So, let me get over there to the Direct myself, if I can. I should have had this stuff pulled up. Slap yourself! Oh my God! Stupid! So real quick, while I get to where I'm trying to go, what were y'all thoughts of this 15 to 16 minute Direct? Comment section. I need y'all to also share. Oh, Keith just sent me. Everybody's trying to jump on my topic. See, I need to get my video out because Super Metal Dave already stole one of my points, and it's gonna look like I bought it from him, but I had this a week ago. Now I see Dr. Trey trying to get on the Digital Foundry. I might not do my video now. I just might let them handle it. I don't know. They might not do a good enough job. No, Keith.
Might as well.
You're supposed to say no, bro. You gotta go and do what you gotta do. You gotta make it happen.
Go make your video.
Oh, thank you.
I'm ready for it. I'm gonna
thank you.
dissect it like I've been dissecting everybody else.
Thank you, Keith.
Keep this. That's funny.
But anyway, and we playing at Nintendo. We not hiding nothing. Fair use.
We see y'all later.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let me see if I can find.
Just don't play the volume. I think you should
I'm
be.
not gonna play the volume.
The volume.
No. I'm not playing the volume at all, and I'm gonna speed it up as well, so at least they can say they tried to alter it from its original form. All right, so this direct took place today, and we all, maybe minus K-Bum, was anticipating today. I thought it was going to be on Wednesday, but it was today, and I was at work. And I was watching it and partaking in what I thought was going to be a glorious experience. But we got to talk about it. So the direct happened today. Nintendo pretty much showed us what we already knew for the most part. They showed all the stages, all the different tracks, all the different features, all the different modes, all the different ways to play, from battle mode to Grand Prix to what was the other one? Knockout to all these different things. Okay, I don't need to play this fast. Jesus, it's playing like 200 cc's. Let me slow this thing down a little bit.
Man, can you imagine 200 cc's on those maps?
Oh yeah. God. They reminded us that it is going to be 24 characters. 21. Yeah, 24 characters. So they doubled it up. It looks, okay, first of all, we already talked about it. The game looks good. The game looks good.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they showed us anything that we didn't already know. A child that has been deducted.
I heard that alert.
But so I thought I heard that too. I'm like, I know I ain't tripping.
I checked my phone.
Oh, it's in Arkansas. Okay.
It was another baby. It's in Arkansas?
Yeah, say in Arkansas with Arkansas plates. The child was abducted in Cape Girardeau with Arkansas plates.
I'll be right back.
God bless them and bless that situation.
All right, Daredevil.
All right, so anyway, let's get into it. So I'm trying to figure out where to go. There wasn't much here that we didn't already know.
16 minutes.
So let's kind of just Keith, I'm gonna bring you in. I'll bring K1. Let me bring Keith in.
Please.
Now
please do.
Just on the direct itself.
Mm-hmm.
What was your thoughts?
So, like everybody else, I was highly anticipating this direct. I had my own thoughts and hopes and dreams and wishes for certain things, and like you just mentioned, it was a lot of things that we already knew. They kind of just rehashed and told us about a lot of stuff. It was a sprinkle of like maybe 5 new things. They talked about some new techniques that you could do, like the
jump.
What do you call it? The charge jump.
Yeah, that was
you do the charge jump, and wasn't really much else. They kind of explained the gold coin. I mean, it was kind of self-explanatory, but it was good that they brought it out. But yeah, it wasn't. The direct wasn't really. It wasn't really that good, and I sat there after I watched the direct, and I was like, well, you know what? I was already sold on the game before we even knew it was called Mario Kart World. When we saw it at the teaser for the Switch reveal, and I thought about it, and I was like, well, maybe I'm feeling this way because maybe this direct wasn't dedicated to me. You know, it wasn't there trying to give new revelations about what the game is going to have. It's pretty much everything that they talked about was pretty much revealed at the initial direct that we had on that past Thursday. Was it Thursday or Wednesday? Wednesday, yeah. So I feel like it wasn't geared towards me. I feel like it was geared toward people who aren't in the know, right? they're not going to sit there and watch a 40 something odd minute Nintendo Direct, but they can sit there and stomach a dedicated 15 to 16 minutes of just Mario Kart, or people who haven't played Mario Kart in a while and they're wondering like, oh, has Mario Kart changed? And you can show them this Direct. So to me, it was more of like a vertical
hammers,
slice.
Man. I like them hammers.
Huh?
Them hammers.
Oh,
that new power.
Yeah. I like the
fact
that
looks dope.
Yeah, I like how they sit on the stage a little bit longer too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I felt about the Direct. The Direct wasn't good, but it did, I think it did what it needed to do. And I think, you're going to have those people who go through and they're going to say, these are all the things that you miss. And I'm pretty sure once we, after today, somebody's going to go through and come through and find all the little intricate details that we probably didn't notice the first time through or the second time through. So I thought it was a meh Direct, but I think it did what it was supposed to do.
Okay. I'm seeing some comments I want to allude to, but I'm going to bring, first of all, shouts out to D2K. Welcome to the show. So, K-Bump, come on through, bro. Thoughts on the Direct?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so I got a chance to catch the Direct. Spent my lunchtime watching the Mario Kart Direct. Unlike the other guys, I was not anticipating this Direct. Not at all. But I did get a chance to catch it and watch it, and I didn't have any. I will reiterate this point that Level said. The more and more I watch this game, especially watching it from Nintendo's Direct, which I think is very important, because looking at it right now on this YouTube, it doesn't even give it. It's not it. Yeah, the textures are way better on that Nintendo Direct than we have right here in this YouTube video. But the more and more I watch it, the more and more I think it is a beautiful looking game. And the more I get excited about the possibilities of what the Switch 2 can do. So I think that's dope. That really makes me feel like that Nintendo fans are going to be happy with the power behind the Switch 2. But let's talk about the Direct itself. It was cool. I didn't really. I mean, I like these type of things, these little behind the scenes, how the game works. So to me, it was on par to some of the things I watched that Sony does, right? When they kind of show behind the scenes how the game works, some of the use cases for some of the new abilities and stuff like that. The rewind ability that's there, which is unique in a live game to be able to rewind like that on command. I was thinking, like, how does that affect the system, right? That you're rewinding at real time while people are still racing around you. I would think that would have a strain on the system to be able to perform that type of action. But it seems like it's built in, so that seems pretty cool.
Did they say you could do that? Did they say you could do that in the actual races, or was it like?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, in the actual race, because it said that people are still going to be racing. So
yeah, I remember.
They're still going to be.
I was confused on that part. Well, go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, the people, because his placement was being lost, so he was rewinding, and then you saw him going from 15 to 16 to 17 to 18 place while people were still driving past him.
Mm-hmm. Before you move on, how do y'all feel about that though? I know you give me your spiel, but since we're here,
it's interesting. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but I don't know why I would use it in real time. If I'm racing you and I'm trying to win, I don't think I'm gonna rewind just so I can hit that wall better. If I miss it, I'm gonna keep going as long as I'm in first place. So, but it does look cool. Let me say this, man. So before we get into the part about the price,
I don't think K-Bone was done.
Oh, my bad, K-Bone. Go ahead.
No, it's cool because I've been interrupting him for the past 7, 8, 10 years. He's just trying to, even out the score here.
I heard you go quiet at the kids.
No, I just want.
I didn't finish, but it was all good. I was gonna roll with it.
Go ahead. No, finish what you were saying.
I'll try to be quick, man. I don't want to take too much time on this. But yeah, I thought, to me, I wasn't, because you guys understand when I saw it, it was there were comments already stated on this Direct, and so I already had a certain feeling how I was gonna feel about it, but I didn't feel the same level that they did. I thought I like informationals, even if it wasn't a lot of information that was brand new. But I didn't mind that. But I do want to challenge, kind of keeps thinking. I would say this. I think casual fans would tune into the release of a system more than they would tune into a direct just tailored to Mario Kart. I think casual people don't really care. They're going to get it anyway. So I really do think this was for the fans. In my opinion, the hardcore people to see what else Mario World has to offer. But I don't think casual people would tune into this. I think if they're going to get if they were going to get the system, they're going to get Mario Kart kind of regardless. It's kind of just what you do. If you buy a Nintendo system, if whatever launch, if it's Mario, if it's Mario Kart, you kind of get it. So I don't know if this was for them. I think this is for the people who want to get more and understand about what makes this Mario Kart Mario World. So that's opinion, but that's kind of my opinion.
Okay. Let me say this because I've seen it in the comment section. So give us a chance to talk about other things. First of all, let's talk about the tracks. What they did show us. So we've seen a lot of the new design tracks, and I'm gonna say this right here. And Nia, you kind of saying this, and I just want to echo what you're saying. These tracks do look dope. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. These tracks look fun. They look expansive.
Detailed.
They look detailed.
Airy.
They look, what'd you say, airy?
No, I said very.
Very detailed.
Very detailed. Better than DLC Mario Kart 8 tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like they got a lot of content hidden within this game that's really going to wow and put smiles on faces. So as I'm looking at it again, see, this is that charm that Nintendo has. That the more you keep on looking at stuff, it knows you. It lulls you. It lullabies you into a trance of, wow, I gotta have it, I gotta play it, because it looks.
Come on,
amazing.
Cracky.
It looks amazing. It looks fun. I can see the joy and the smiles and the laughs that I'm going to have with my daughters, with my wife, if she would allow herself to play, and my son and different ones. When we throw it in there, this game looks like a bundle of fun. And I mean, it's going to be an experience that's going to be enjoyed throughout the duration of the switch to lifespan. So from that angle alone, shouts out to Nintendo. I'm loving the way that they have expanded on the tricks. The rail grinding, the wall bouncing off the walls, the charge jump.
It has a semi verticality to it.
Yeah.
Right. When you get the rails and stuff like that's an extra dimension of verticality. It's not just the big jumps, right, or just the big higher levels, right? They have the verticality of the rails, which takes you a different level, and then you have the wall riding, which takes you to another level. So I think I like the fact that they added all these other dimensions other than just high low, right? It's not just high low, it's high, mid low, wall ride, grind, and I think that's going to create a lot of replayability. I tell you, sorry, I'm gonna say this real quick, then I'm gonna give it back. What I liked, what made this really cool, was that some of the abilities open up new gameplay aspects. I think that's how you get replayability, where certain power-ups allow you to access the map that you normally wouldn't. So you may not have that power-up all the time, so you may not be able to access that part of the map at that point in time. But the replayability comes where there's so many different ways to do it and be able to access certain points. And then if you have different abilities that allows you to have this access, well, then that's even more playability. So I thought personally that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Keith, anything on that?
No, I mean I like that K-Bum said that, because that's going to be one of my points that I bring out later. Is that adds a layer of skill. I mean, he already said it, so I'm just saying it certainly adds a layer of skill. And when you start putting all those things together, Like it's because you remember Mario Kart back on the N64. You remember the rubber banding and all that other stuff. Like they don't have to do that anymore. Now it's just about who can really race better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I got a thought on that, but I'm gonna wait.
You can jump red shells now.
Add
Like you don't
in,
have to just wait on the huh?
no, I was going to say, as you were talking, add in what Nia just put in the thing too, because she added another. She brought up another aspect that we can explore.
Oh yeah. The dynamic weather and the night tracks and all that other stuff, and
Yeah.
the carts got lights on them. But yeah, they've done a lot of little small things to Mario Kart to make it more competitive. Actually, it can be a whole lot more competitive now. It ain't like K-Bone was saying. It ain't just the big things, the big obvious things anymore. It's the smaller things that you do to get advantage over the competition.
Right. So there's another aspect to this game that's real dope too, is the fact that they have these food items, and based on the food, your clothes change to your clothes end up changing. So like you see him eating his burger, and he gets a different outfit. You see her eat, I think, some sushi, and she gets an Asian outfit. So that's another aspect of this game that's dope too, that adds character, is the fact that you won't be stuck with the same. Almost like Odyssey, Mario was able to change clothes, and it did add another dynamic to Mario. It's cool seeing Mario with his cap on backwards, in some not in the overalls and the traditional hat. You see Mario in some normal clothes, and it just make Mario look that much hipper, that much connected to a reality, and it adds to me. It adds another layer of, I guess, believability, or I don't know what word I'm looking for, but just connectability with the character, that as long as they stuck in the overalls and those traditional outfits is not the same. And seeing them in regular clothes, it just gives it another aesthetic that brings you in. And I like that ability to diversify and have your own style. You can choose what you want to wear and make Mario your own character, or Peach or Luigi or Waluigi or whatever. So that's real dope to me as well. Like the fact, like right here, you see Mario riding with his hat on backwards. That looked dope to me. It's almost like Splatoon-ish, where Splatoon allows you to make your character feel like you want them to feel, and giving you that freedom to clothe and dress and get the wardrobe you like, that may relate, may connect with your own personality. To me, makes you connect with the characters even the more. And when they added it to Odyssey, it was a welcomed addition to the game. I don't know about how Keith feel, but I did go through there and change Mario clothes up all the time, from his traditional outfit. And it was cool to see Mario running around with no shoes on, some shorts, barefooted. That was dope to me, or no shirt. It was just dope. So that's kind of cool to see that take a place in this game as well. Anything else?
I will say I think that part is that was the trash part of the direct, in my opinion. I didn't care for that. I thought that was stupid. But that's my perspective. I'm like, you eat food and change your clothes. Okay.
But every other game that we played let you change clothes. Like,
but eating food does it?
I mean, okay. So let me rewind. I didn't say I like the food part. I just like the fact that you can change clothes.
Okay,
I agree that the way that you change clothes is kind of goofy. Yes, I agree. The way in which you do change clothes is very Nintendo weird, but the results of the
I ate a burger, so let me put this burger hat on. What?
I like
this chicken sandwich gave me wings. What, Buffalo Wild Wings?
I like the end results of the stupidity, or the goofiness. I like the results it lends to. So, anything else? What about the picture stuff and the free roaming?
I think he was trying to say something. I cut him off.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in on when you said about Odyssey. The only thing about Odyssey is that I wish that it actually gave Mario abilities. You know, he put on a beach uniform, he could swim faster or something. Or I think with I got what you're saying. Yeah, so I do think with the one where he puts on like the Eskimo outfit, he does stay warm.
Right
I
too,
think they did do that though.
that's dope
But
too. Yeah. Another thing that's dope about this game, man, is the stage hazards. Like they was talking about how in the game you might have is it hammerheads? What you call them?
Hammer Bros.
Hammer Bros, yeah.
Hammer Bros. On the back of cars throwing hammers, and it's just a stage hazard. Or you might have like in this scene, they got literally a Tyrannosaurus Rex running through the stage. Like on the other stage, you see this big old dolphin or big whale come up out the water, and it's a hazard. Like there's so much dope like this stage right here. Like you see this Tyrannosaurus Rex chasing after. It's like there's a lot of things in this game that is just real dope. And the last thing I'll speak on before we go to give Keith the floor to we go to the topic of did they prove the value? Did they show why the game is $80? We got to get to that conversation. The water, man, the water physics in this game is just amazing.
Looks nice. Looks good. Looks really good.
It looks really good, and it just makes me hopeful that this is just indication of a wave race returning because these water physics, man, these water physics that's on some other stuff, and I just love that. I just love how good the water and the waves and all that stuff looking. The free roaming, I like the fact that I'm gonna say this. I was expecting maybe some type of story-driven element to the free roaming. That's what I was hoping. Maybe I was listening to many people who was being a little too ambitious. I guess it's cool that you got little what you would call
missions.
That's what they call it. They call it missions. I guess it's cool that there's missions spread out through the open world. Hopefully Nintendo is still possibly hiding the true depths of that. That they may have boss battles and different things. And looking at the game, it seems like maybe some stuff like that is in the game. But we will see. They definitely did not show it. But from what I saw, Cape, I'm gonna be honest with you, it made me kind of reconsider. It was a cool direct. It wasn't. I'm not agreeing with Keith and say that it wasn't for us. I believe it is for us. That's why I line with you, K-Bum, is I believe this stuff is for us. I don't think the casuals are tuning in like that. I think we are. I think that we, the ones that can't wait till they announce when we can pre-order this stuff, are the ones that's flocking to this video that was looking forward to seeing it. I don't think casuals are paying attention enough to be on it like we are. So I do believe this is it's catered to all of us, but it's, to me, the people that's really coming to check it out is us. So that's where I would disagree with Keith on that. I don't really think it was not for us. I think they just, to me, sometimes don't understand that they need to be talking to us. But anyway, any final thoughts on just the direct itself, and if not, give you a grade on it?
I'll say something really quick. First of all, it's weird being the positive guy on Nintendo topic, but I'll take it today. But we didn't talk about too much. We didn't spend too much time on the negatives. But I think game chat is trash. I think the fact that you got to pay for game chat is trash. I think the fact that you can't chat outside of they didn't say anything about chatting outside of game chat. So hopefully they have in-game chat when you play online. If they don't, and you have to do all that through game chat and pay for it, that's trash. But other than that, that was the one few negatives that I saw with this, and it just makes me hate game chat the more and more I see it. But that's my point.
Okay.
So what? Just one more thing on that. The who was it dedicated to? What I was actually saying was, I think it's a vertical slice that you can share with loved ones or friends or whatever, and I think this will be easier to digest than to send them a 42-minute video. Of course, we're going to tune in first. We're going to watch it, dissect it, look at it. But then when we share it out, I think that's kind of the word of mouth thing. You know, like, hey, look at this new Mario Kart, and you share this little quick video. But that's my line of thinking. But hey,
I see what you're saying. I get it.
What do y'all think about the new vehicles that you can hop in, that like the diesel truck, the helicopter, I guess the boat or sailboat, or some little boat thing you could jump. Like, what do y'all think about that stuff? Kind of sprinkled out in the game that you can literally ride into a helicopter and fly, or
Same as it's just like getting a different type of power up.
okay, that was cool though.
That's how I view it.
but I like the fact that there's just stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? Just added stuff.
Yeah.
Whether it's just a small advantage, a huge advantage, it's just something in there that gives you more depth to the game.
Yeah,
agreed.
That's more creative.
It's feature rich. It's feature rich.
It is. It's a lot going on.
Okay, so
Is it $80 worth of going on? That's what we about to
that's
talk
what
about.
we're about to go. Let's give our letter grade. Comment section. Let me know y'all letter grade from, what is it? Was it A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Let me know. Go ahead. Shouts out to Dark 301. Chariot Man. Welcome to the show. Go ahead. Who want to go first?
I'll go first. I'm still, even after everything that we said, I'm still going to give it a C. Because I think it was just kind of in the middle. I don't think it was a bad direct. I didn't walk away from it saying, "Oh, that was just a bad direct." But I don't feel like they offered up much more. I think you got to watch it a few times to see the more. But it wasn't a bad direct. I give it a C.
Okay, a C. So they passing, but nothing. They C. Okay, all right. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Go ahead, K-Ball.
I was actually saying to me, I thought it was like a C plus. I thought it was I thought it was good. I think they had some really good pieces when it comes as far as showing depth of the game and showing and just overloading you with courses and this course, remake course, this thing. I thought that was cool. And actually, I didn't have an issue with it. Like I said, it's very similar to some of the stuff I would watch for Sony that would kind of explain the game and go into details like that. So I give it a C plus.
Okay, a C plus. I'm a go with Keith. I'm gonna say a C. Well, wait a minute. Be honest.
Be honest, sir.
Watching it right now did put a smile on my face. Unlike it was at work, because I wanted something. Because I did want a storyline to show up. So looking at it without my preconceived mindset, I'm gonna give it a C plus. I would go up to a B, because I really do like what I'm seeing here. Like, I really like what I'm seeing here. It's a lot here. It's feature rich. They giving you a lot, and it wasn't nothing that I hadn't seen, but there's a few little things in there that I didn't see from the treehouse and from the original reveal of the Switch 2, the actual full reveal of the Switch 2. I'm gonna say C plus, because it did put a smile on my face seeing all that stuff. It looks absolutely fun, and so I would say a C plus. So let me see in the comment section. I see C from Dark 301. I see who else? Give me your grades, y'all. Don't let me know what your grade is.
Well, Nia gave it a B.
Nia gave it a B. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see her grade.
Comic Book Crush gave it a B. It's above Dark. So it's a B from
Dark.
Video Game Hers, a B from Comic Book Crush, it's a C from Dark 301, then a B plus from Charity Man.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna say C plus, but it could easily be a B, because it really did. I'm not gonna front. It put a smile on my face. So Mario Kart is just that game that does that. It has that magic, and this game looks noticeably better and way more rich than anything we saw in 8. So yeah. But okay, so let's get to the elephant in the room. And this is where the conversation is going to go interesting. I don't know where it's going to go.
It's a big old elephant. I tell you that.
It's a big elephant. So even though we are happy with what we saw, this is probably the best, far as visually and what we're seeing. This is probably the best and richest and most filled with things to do Mario Kart we have ever had ever. Like these stages look
ever
just freaking amazing. The question remains: did they show did they show why the game is worthy of the $80 price tag? Did they show the value? So Keith has a argument for why they did. So I'm going to ask my brother K-Bum and myself and everybody in the comment section do not interrupt him. Let him.
You already know I can't do that.
I'm talking to myself. So we both good for. So Keith, the floor is yours. Did they do enough? Your argument for why they did.
All right. So number one.
Let
me preface this by saying I am not here defending $80 games. Do not sit here and think I'm like, oh, $80, I'll take it in the face. No.
Ooh,
hey, sir.
Pause. No did it.
Just figure out. Oh
no, Neil. I'm not about the damage control. I am here to just defend Mario Kart 8 and its $80 price tag. A lot of stuff that I was going to say has already been said. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I was going to say was the longevity. Shout out to LeBron James. Level mentioned that this is the only Mario Kart that we're going to get possibly into the Switch 3 unless we have another Mario Kart 8 on our hands.
I believe you.
We might not see another Mario Kart to Switch 4.
All
right, that's funny. That's funny.
So let's start from the beginning. So when Nintendo revealed the Switch 2, they caught everybody off guard. Critics, loyal fans. I mean, you got loyal fans right now. Drop the price. I don't like what Nintendo's doing, and then you got people. I call them the K-bombs. They're watching close. They're watching close, and they're like, "Oh, I kind of like what Nintendo's doing right now." They gave us a more powerful console that they run third-party games. I'll say they're working toward a modern online experience. I can't say that they have it yet, but they're working toward it.
I wouldn't use those words, but you can. Sorry.
But I'm just saying they're working toward it. But as we've already mentioned, that this is not just another Mario Kart game. Nintendo's took this beloved franchise of Mario Kart and they turned it into something where in other games you'll see a lot of the stuff that they added would be monetized. One of the things that Level was mentioning was the change in the clothes. These are skins in other games. These are $5 skins in other games, and Nintendo is giving it to you just by playing the game.
Mistake. Sorry.
It could be a mistake, but you know it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Nintendo even got a skin in Fortnite for Samus, I think. And I think you got to pay for that. But anyways, I digress.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the open world, the battle races, the interactive zones, you gotta go between the worlds. All of this stuff is very brand new to the Mario Kart series, and they've opened up the world. And as you saw, they've added missions, and just different things that you can do in the game. And I personally can't wait to play the knockout mode. I think that knockout mode looks fire, which leads me to talk about the mechanics of the game.
Okay.
So you're going to be racing in this knockout mode. It isn't always going to be about the items that you can get. You're not always going to get a red shell. You're not always going to get a blue shell or a star or something that's going to aid you in defeating your opponent or beating your opponent. As we mentioned, the charge jump, you can use this to like wall riding, rail riding, all of these different little things that you can combine all of these things to make a real fluid motion of movement and gameplay and skill. And it rewards the players for doing these things. And it's fun. It looks fun, you know. To me, this opens up a new depth of nuance to this game and makes it a more competitive game than it's ever been before. Before, you had to just depend on what item you would get. If somebody was passing you, they just pass you. But now you can do certain different little things. You could veer off the track, like y'all mentioned earlier, the verticality. Just different things that you could do to try to compete in this game. My next point is if I was to compare Mario Kart, what they're offering you from day one to other games, like a Call of Duty, it's a yearly $70 game, and then add in another extra $100 for battle passes and other cosmetics. NBA 2K, microtransaction heavy. My career, my team, and it's a full price game. It says you're paying for access, not the full experience. I wrote all this down. You're paying for access, and not the full experience. So I think Mario Kart gives you all of this upfront, no upsells, no bait. You unlock everything for playing like we used to back in the day. You get better by practicing, and it's fun. So let's say if you spend $80 on this game, if every hour that you play on this game was $1, you spent 80 hours into this game, you've gotten your value. But I know most people are going to spend well over 80 hours in Mario Kart, especially this one alone. So you just do the math. You're going to get your value just playing the game, and Nintendo's giving you that value. Let's see. So again, not defending $80 games. I'm just defending Mario Kart World because of the value, the nuances that they added. It's right there on the level of a Splatoon and all the other competitive Nintendo games that you play. The online features and all that other stuff. And then you got the relaxing open world that you can play with your friends. I know me and my kids are going to enjoy the heck out of this game. Let's see. What else did I write down here? I think that's it. I think when you put it all together, you'll see that Nintendo just didn't give us another Mario Kart game. They gave us a brand new experience with certain nuances. I do want to say this, going back to that Call of Duty thing. I remember we had a podcast here, and me and Level I think we were talking about like Call of Duty's the same every year, and K-Bone chimed in like, nope. They do certain things and they tweak certain things that may be good, that may be bad, but it's the people who's really in depth in those games, they can tell. Kind of like with Smash Brothers. Everybody calls what's the one? Melee. They say that's the GOAT. And then when Smash Brothers for the Wii came out, they were like, oh, you messed it up. But to somebody who plays it on the surface, they're looking at it like it's just Smash Brothers. But the people who know about those extra little nuances and moods, they can experience the difference of the gameplay. And I think Nintendo has shown us more than enough in these trailers that Mario Kart is not just another Mario Kart game. And if you just look at it that way, you're gonna miss it because there's so many little things that they've done to polish this game to give you more value for more bang for your buck. And I'll end it there. I'm pretty sure y'all gonna disagree with me. I gotta go mute so I can get my kids to bed, but let me hear
Dropping bombs. Keith came in dropping bombs. Okay, so I feel like I always come up, after you guys. I want to jump in. First of all, let me say this.
Please go ahead.
Well represented arguments. Matter of fact, you have made me slightly alter what I was going to say, just slightly. But so I'm gonna have to go personal. Nia said something that I was going to use. I was going to use two words. I was going to use subjective and perception. So, and they kind of playing with each other. So I just use subjective. Like value is subjective, right? Value is in the eye of in the eye of the person who's looking at it, and they determine what they deem is valuable and what's not of value. I mean, what is of value to them or what isn't of value to them, right? And then it's how you perceive it. Is your perception on that. So I'm gonna say this from what I said in the chat. One argument that Nintendo does have that I clearly see value is the longevity. I know that buying this game, whether I get the bundle or outright pay for the physical version, because I'm really contemplating, do I want the digital version because of whenever Nintendo decides they're not supporting, I don't want my Mario Kart world to end there. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's another conversation. I know I'm going to get longevity out of Mario Kart. We've been playing Mario Kart 8 for 2 systems now. And when I throw Mario Kart 8 in there, I don't feel any less joy about it. I'm excited. I like playing Mario Kart. It's still fun. It's still joyous. I still like racing the tracks. So it holds up over the duration of the system's lifespan. So from that angle, yes, I know I'm going to get my money's worth out of it. So for me, I don't have a problem with spending the 80. From that angle alone, I'm willing to give them 80 for the game. So from a value perspective, for me, I would say yes. I know I'm going to get my money's worth. It's not going to be like, and I use this analogy this example in the chat room. I spent $69.99 for Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5. I would never throw that game in again, right? Ratchet and Clank, rarely ever go back to that game, even though I felt like as soon as I looked at it, I saw the value. I saw that's worth $69.99. I would definitely give them $69.99. But I will not go back to play those games near as much as I'm going to go back and continue to play Mario Kart over the duration of the Switch 2. So from that angle, yes, I'm willing to give it $80. So value is there, but the fact that I know they don't have to charge this is where I still pitch my tent. And I prop up my flag of protest, only because it's not that, like I said, I'm willing to pay the 80 because I know I'm going to get my money out of it. But it's the precedents that Nintendo is setting that I'm kind of pushing back. If I look at what Nintendo has here, it doesn't say we deserve $80. It only says we can charge $80 for it. We can charge it, but we don't have to. That's what it says to me. It doesn't say we must charge $80. It says, it's Mario Kart. We're giving you a lot. You know the value. You know what you're going to get. So we can charge. We can press you to give us that $80. So for me, it still didn't say it's warranted of the 80, even though I know I'm going to get value, just like I would get the value, like I said. So it's like it's two different things to me. Value, yeah, because when has Mario Kart not given us value? But does this lend to the precedent of Nintendo leapfrogging over the increase that Sony already brought with the $69.99 and saying we want 80 for this game? They can say it, they can do it, and they probably going to get away with it because people know that they're going to have a good time playing Mario Kart. But it's just like that burger I bought today. It was a good burger, but it wasn't worth $21. The burger wasn't bad, but it wasn't a $21 burger. But I paid the $21 because I wanted to eat the burger. But when I got done, I was like, they didn't have to charge no 20. They could have charged me 15 for that, and that would have been about the actual value that is at. So I'm gonna say, to me, it's actually a $69.99 game that they can get $79.99 from me because of the game itself and the title and what it is. They can get the $79 out of me, but it's strong arming me because they know we want this game, and the demand allows them to do something maybe the game doesn't necessarily have to be charged at. That's what I would say, if that makes any sense. So they can do it. They don't have to do it. It ain't like they put so much in this game that we to get what we put in out of it, we got charged 80. That's not the case. It's just I know we can because of the power of this franchise and the fact that this is our biggest franchise. We can get 80 out of you, and I don't want to steal what K-Bum said because K-Bum made a very poignant point, but I'm going to let him make that point because that wasn't what I said, so I'm not going to steal it. But what K-Bum said, when he said, just know I'm dittoing what K-Bum said as well. So that's my stance.
Dang, cuz what I say? I don't forget what I said.
I was just going to ask what he said.
You can take it because I don't remember it.
When you said that Nintendo is trying to make up for.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'll let you say it. I don't want to steal your stuff. So
no, I'm not gonna say that point. You can steal that.
Okay, so K-Bum made a very interesting point. He said because now we know, I don't know if y'all know, but they said some analysts said that the Switch 2 basically costs about $400 to make. So it costs $400 to make. That's why it's $450 because Nintendo trying to make some money. So if you got a system out here, because you know the Switch, they's making a whole lot of money off the Switch. Nintendo is making a lot. Nintendo is probably making $80-$90 a system, and probably making ain't it $200 something a system, $200 to $300. The Switch doesn't cost a lot to make, and when it came out, it didn't cost a lot to make. So they're making a lot of money off the hardware itself. But with the Switch 2, they're not making as much as they typically do because they decided to go with some bells and whistles that they typically don't go with. That 120p, that HDR, that VRR, that 1080p screen, all that DLSS, all that stuff costing them some money. So this is a $400 system to make, and they charge you $450 for it. So $50 they make it on each system. When they probably was making about $150 on the Switch out at lunch. So K-Bum said they probably trying to make up that difference in the game. So Mario Kart is $80 to make up that difference. I thought that was an interesting point that I would never have thought of, but K-Bum kind of introduced that thought, and I was like, I agree with that. That makes a lot of sense. So these games are going to cost a little bit more to make up the difference of the cost of the system. So
well, that's also why you're paying the $7 or $10 for that user manual game.
Right, that world, what is it?
World Tour, Welcome Tour.
Welcome Tour, yeah. So all those is why I'm gonna say I don't believe Mario Kart World showed us that it's deserving of. No, let me rephrase that. Mario Kart World didn't show me that Nintendo must sell it at $80. It just they can because of the power of the IP, and they're gonna get it, and I'm gonna give it to them. I'm gonna give them this 50. I might just get the 5480, the 450, and get the digital, the physical version. But I'm probably not. I'm probably gonna go ahead and get that $50 digital version and call it what it is. But anyway, that's my take. I'll open the floor to K-Bum.
Yeah, I'll try to be quick here. So with $80, can I now expect Nintendo to do what modern gaming is doing? Now you're going to ask for premium money. When I say that is, how many are you going to continually patch your game? Are you going to continually give content? Or are you going to have continuous patches, bug fixes once a week? You're going to have new abilities during the life cycle of the game. Are you going to constantly make upgrades, updates, add new characters? That's what gaming is now. When you look at Overwatch costs $59. You had access to every single character that released, every single map that released. Didn't charge you a single dime for any of that, and they had weekly, bi-weekly updates to the game and content drop every season. Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals gives you two new skins every week. Marvel Rivals is free to play too. And so you were talking about you're getting skins, you're getting content. Marvel Rivals gives you skins, two skins every week. They have just changed their process. They're going to give you a new character every month. They're going to give you new content every season and other pieces that you can interact, new game modes, and you won't be charged. If you choose to buy a skin, you can. But you can play that Marvel Rival games as is and enjoy it for the price of $0. And they give you weekly updates, weekly skins, monthly characters. Is Nintendo going to start doing that now? And I don't believe they will. They're going to ask for this premium price, and they're probably going to treat it the same way they've always treated. I don't see anything that showcased that. Definitely the podcast. The direct didn't mention anything about constant support. It didn't talk about new characters being added. It didn't talking about any updates, any more development. But you're asking for premium prices, but you're not doing what modern game does now, and that is a consistent, persistent world that continues to update. GTA can ask for $100 because GTA is going to update. GTA updated GTA 5 weekly or bi-weekly for like 8-10 years. They can ask for $100 because you're gonna get that money's worth. The development for the game is going to continue. They have ways, and that's why that's when I said it was a mistake to give those skins away for free, because you cannot continually support a game without a monetary source. So you're going to get Mario Kart, you're going to get this open world game, but you're not going to get you may not. I'm not going to say you're not, because I don't know their strategy. They haven't announced that this is their strategy, but you're not going to get what modern game gives you, which is this consistent, constant updates that happens seasonally, weekly, and stuff like that. So that's why I still don't think it's worth the $79. Yeah, it's open world game, but even with that, it's not doing anything that no other game has done. It's doing the first for Mario Kart, but it's not the first in this type of game has been done. Forza has done it. The crew has done it. The crew was kind of the first person to do it in this breadth, where they had the entire USA map that you could drive from one part of the USA to the next. That was the first game to do that, and that was. It wasn't a great game, but it was a. What am I looking for? It was.
It was breaking. I
cannot
ground.
find.
It was.
Yes. Yes.
It was breaking ground.
Yeah. Thank you. Groundbreaking. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's how I feel. I do like the point. Do like the information you gave, but I still think Nintendo's behind this. This persistent type of gaming that gamers want. And I see Splatoon in the chat. Splatoon is the closest persistent world, continuous game as a service type game Nintendo has, and they still was not on par with everybody else, because they end up being like monthly updates. They weren't weekly. Like if you literally look at the patch notes, Marvel Rivals is patching that game weekly. You get new skins weekly, you get new characters monthly. Like that is the level that you get with persistent worlds and stuff like that. You get 2 patches a week. Call of Duty is patching every week.
Let me
so
when you say patching, are you saying fixing or are you saying adding?
It's both. Okay. It's both.
I would
so there's one patch to add Well, so the 1 week they add, the next week they fix, and then another week they add more content. Another week they like fix it, like fix stuff. Like there's constantly because you're adding more stuff. That sometimes you have to fix things, but it is both. It is both fixing the game and additional content.
I would
That's
definitely
being added.
say that Nintendo fixes stuff all throughout the duration of the game, but adding, you correct, they don't add. Now, my problem, like I said, my concern, like I said, I'm willing to give, because I'm looking at what the comment section, I'm looking at what D2K said, I'm looking at what Nia said, I'm looking at what Phoenix Star 5000. Welcome to the show, bro. I am personally willing to give Nintendo $80 for Mario Kart because I know I'm going to get everything I want out of it. So I know that I'm not going to. It's not going to be a game I give $80 and it's going to just sit on the shelf and never get played. So it's not that game. It's the value is there. My fear is, speaking of Splatoon, is Splatoon going to be 80? Because of the nature of it being what it is, with all the modes and the features and the online and the battle modes, and then Smash Bros. Is it going to be 80? Because of all its features and all. See, so you get this domino effect of this precedence that Nintendo has set strictly because their games have always held their value. So I'm not basing it on the value because how many games does Nintendo have that don't hold their value? People are still playing through Breath of the Wild, still playing through Tears of the Kingdom, because Nintendo puts a lot into the game. And that may be their thinking. We put a lot into these games, but so did Skyrim, so did Fallout, so did all these other games, Call of Duty. They put a lot there to keep you coming back. So just because you're putting a lot there to make the replay value more replayable doesn't mean you have now justified the pricing of $80. So it's like it's a Nintendo tax. It's like we Nintendo, our games have value. We put a lot of contents, which they do, giving them all the credit in the world. But if you set this precedent with Mario Kart, then we're going to be doing the same thing with Smash Bros. We're going to be doing the same thing with Splatoon and any other game that's in this realm of Mario Kart. So that means Odyssey most likely going to be 80. We already, and Keith want to talk about this as well, we already looking at Switch 2 editions being $80. If you haven't played Breath of the Wild or Odyssey or Tears of the Kingdom, guess what? For Tears of the Kingdom, it might be $90. And for Breath of the Wild, it's going to be $80. No, for Breath of the Wild, it's going to be possibly $80 and $90, and for Tears of the Kingdom, it's going to be $80 because the edition is $10. Now you can't get the online.
It was $69 though.
Yeah, 69 plus 10, so it'd be $79. No, I mean, dang it, you're right. No,
That's 80.
yeah, that's right. So that's 80. So again, what is Kirby? What's Kirby's game? Kirby game. That's going to be 80.
Too much money. Too much money.
So it's a precedent that I can't rock with. This precedent that, and I love Nintendo, and I think Nintendo is probably the best game makers in the game. If you just go pound for pound making video games, Nintendo is at the top. And no other group is making better games for game than Nintendo. Now we might have those ones that crack through, like the God of Wars and the Uncharted and the Last of Us and all those, but just consistency.
I mean, Insomniac has produced hit after hit. That's the only one that would kind of group with them.
Right. So it's.
But yeah,
it's the precedent that we will end up opening up because Nintendo has determined that because they are Nintendo and our games hold their value, that we are therefore we are justified to value our games at this price when I don't think the development warrants it. I don't think anything other than we value these games at this, so we want you to pay this, not because we have to charge you this, but because we can, or we know you are going to pay for it to experience our game. So it's more of a strong arm to me than being showing faith to your fan base and being friendly to your fan base. Like I said, my hope, I want Nintendo to have a successful launch. And I think they have an awesome system here. And I think they know they have an awesome system here. But what we just named with the Switch editions, Mario Kart World, what's that game? Some demo, welcome demo. Like
Welcome
Tour. What you telling me? There's nothing. You can't even make Welcome Tour free. Like, let me say this again.
They need
Sony gave us Astrobot demo, and that was a considerable
one of the
demo.
best first party games they have.
They gave us that demo, and that demo was probably about 6 hours, a 6 hour long demo.
Yes, they're close to it. You're right.
Yeah, a great demo that demonstrated the controller, showcased the power of the what's the name of that controller? The DualSense, the DualSense, all the features of the DualSense. They didn't charge us for that. They gave us that with the system.
But let's not act like Nintendo hasn't done it in the past.
But we ain't. But Keith, what have you done for me lately?
I understand. I personally, I really don't even want to talk about the possibility of a Splatoon being $80 of Mario Odyssey, and I've already told y'all in the chat I ain't spending that money on Mario Odyssey. I just don't think it holds that type of value. I think it's a great series or a great game, but I don't think it holds the type of value. Look at Donkey Kong. Like, I wouldn't spend $80 on Donkey Kong.
So you don't want to spend $80 on the Pikmin?
No, I would not.
Crazy talk.
I would not. I will find a way.
I'm looking at what Nia said in the comments. She said, but an 80 Zelda, I'm a fold. Laughing out. An 80 Xenoblade, I'm a fold. But are you okay? Are you saying, like, for Tears of the Kingdom, if you had skipped out on it on the Switch, are you giving it 80 for the Switch too? I mean, because
yeah.
Okay, let me say this real quick, and I'll give you the floor, Keith. I would give a new Zelda, like not Tears of the Kingdom, not Breath of the Wild. I give a new Switch built up for Switch, and it does what Tears of the Kingdom did. Oh, absolutely, I give it 80. Because Tears of the Kingdom was that, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom was that deal. Now, I still don't want that precedent stated, but I would give 80 for Mario. But I hope what I'm saying not being missed. I know I'm gonna get my money's worth, and that's probably why Nintendo think they can justify it, because they know you're gonna get your money's worth. But I don't think the development of the game warrants $80. That's what I'm saying. What it costs you to create it don't warrant you then turning around and charging us $80 just because you know you're going to get your money's worth out of it. Like that burger, it was cool, but it wasn't worth no $21. But you valued it at that, and I was silly enough to give you that before and didn't look, because I didn't know what it was going to cost, because they didn't have the price on the menu. So I just assumed it was going to be $15. And then he said 21. I was like, I can't tell you no now. I'm too ashamed to tell you no. So, but go ahead, Keith. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I'd rather cross those bridges when we get there. I don't want to, scream panic and say, "Oh, this is crazy," because I don't know if that's going to be the case. And then at the end of the day, I still hold the money. Well, how do I
fair
say
use,
it?
Nintendo? Fair use.
Leave us alone.
I hold the power to spend my money on what you offer me. I don't have to buy it. It's like Nia said in the thing. It's a hobby. There are some games that's gonna make me like, yeah, I gotta get that. But not everything that you offer, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of people like me. All those people that's in the chat, I hope they stand on business when they're talking about drop the price. Not everything Nintendo can do, I'm gonna consume. But there are things like I feel like Mario Kart is gonna hold its value. I think they've shown us enough that they're willing to add uh features to it. Now, to the level of what K-Bun was explaining, I don't know. We didn't know that about Grand Theft Auto until they did it. This could be a new Nintendo. They could do that. I don't know.
That is a true statement.
But I'm not mad at $80 for this particular Mario Kart. But like I said, Nintendo can't get 80 from me on everything. And that's just how I like they were saying, they want to do variable pricing. I'm gonna make variable purchases. Like, not gonna do that. But what you were saying about Zelda, brand new, like if I had never played Tears of the Kingdom, I would probably bite the bullet because of how expansive these new two Zeldas are. They're very expansive. I would probably play those because I know I'm going to spend hours upon hours playing them, finding all the little things. Mario Odyssey type games, probably not. Pikmin, I love it to death. I think it's a great game. I beat that Pikmin game and never went back to it. So no, I'm not spending the 80 because I know I'm not going to get the value out of it. And even games that's $69 now or $59 now, let's say most of these games today, 15 to 20 hours to beat, and you put them down, you never pick them back up.
Right, that's right.
But a lot of people say they got their value out of them. I got my value, man. You beat that game in the weekend. You spent $69 on the game you beat in the weekend, and you got the nerve to be complaining about Mario Kart at $80. I don't want to hear that. But like I said, I'm not defending $80 games. I don't like the price point. Like I work hard for my money. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot for my money. So no, I'm not just gonna be shelling it out. No. But I'll just make the determining factor. I sound like Nintendo now. I'm going to make that determining factor of what I believe is worth it, and that's what I'm going to spend my money on. And right. I hope everybody else does the same.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, like I said, for me, $80, I will give $80 for this game because I know I'm going to get years and years and years and years of play out of it. So I don't mind spending that. I just don't want this to become the norm and the precedent that Nintendo said. But outside, I don't feel like that's the only part I'm kind of like, Nintendo, y'all didn't have to do this, but y'all can. Y'all have the IPs to do it with, so y'all will. So, hey, it's a little greedy. That's all the point. I feel like it's okay to say Nintendo being greedy here, but they can.
That curve is crazy.
Because of the power of their titles. They have put the value, and it's a different type of value. To just be honest, like what Keith just said, Nintendo games have a different value. Their top games, their top tier games, do carry a different value than most games. You have those outliers, like the Forzas, and like what K-Bum's saying with Marvel Rivals, and before that Overwatch, and those games hold their value. Grand Theft Auto holds its value. Mario Kart is one of those games, whether they update it as frequently as K-Bum would desire or not, it's going to hold its value, and you're going to get more than your $80 worth. Because like you said, Keith, there won't be a Mario Kart World 2 and a Mario Kart World 3 before the Switch 2 is done. No, it's going to be Mario Kart World. There you go. It's so much there, and it has so much replay value, and they know they're not going to be coming back, so they're like, we don't even give y'all but one a generation. So I think it may be from that angle they saying, hey, we're going to charge you this because unlike Sonic Racing, unlike this, that, and the third, you're going to get 2 or 3 of those games at $69 a generation. You're going to go get one Mario Kart at $80 a generation. So from that angle, I can say, yeah, they can get to 80, and I'm not mad at them. I just don't want them to. I just wish they wouldn't set it. I wish they'd just be considerate of their fan base say, hey, we know we can do it, but hey, we do it for 70. But that's me. We ain't got to belabor this no more. Any other thoughts on this, or are we moving on?
Yeah, I do have one last thought.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this with my chest. Nintendo should be the last people charging $80 for video games. And I've said it before. I say it again, because when the Switch 2 is over, Mario Kart World is gonna be $80. when the PlayStation 4 was over, God of War was $20.
True.
When Switch 2 is done, Mario Kart World gonna be $80. It may let the tariff hit. It may be $85. That's about to me. They should be the last ones because they ain't dropping nothing for nobody. But that's just my
still full price.
That Switch is still full price. But anyway, that's my last point.
Okay. So let's move on because where we at? We at 1 hour and 35. So let's move on. So we got to go to this subject. So Yoshida, in an interview, made a statement about the Switch. He was asked about the Switch 2 and the reveal and his thoughts on the situation and what he saw. And Yoshida said something very interesting here. So we want to explore what Yoshida said and then give our take. So Nintendo, this is Yoshida's opinion. Nintendo is losing their identity. Former PlayStation exec, how you say his first name? I don't know how to say his first name. Shuhei. Okay, thank you. Shuhei Yoshida shared damning Switch 2 verdict. I was personally a bit disappointed. So Nintendo positioning Switch 2 as simply a bigger and better follow-up to the Switch 1 is damaging the company's brand identity. That's according to the former PlayStation exec Shuhei Yoshida speaking on the Easy Allies podcast, who has shared his thoughts on Switch 2 in general and Nintendo's recent hardware reveal. I should have read through this before. I hate when I don't know it. Yoshida's point is that Nintendo has always done different when compared to competitors and designed its consoles around fun concepts, motion controls, or hybrid handheld /TV gameplay rather than simply focusing on more technical oomph. With Switch 2, however, Yoshida said, Nintendo has focused more than ever on making straightforward upgrades to its best-selling current console. Hold on to that. Its best-selling current console, which the central premise of being both a handheld device and a home console unchanged. Let me move this out the way. I have to be polite. I want to be polite, Yoshida begins, noting that he had taken part in a live stream reaction to the Switch 2 reveal and had initially been careful with his words. Something I didn't say here, he then continued. To me, it was a bit of a mixed message from Nintendo. In a sense, I think Nintendo is losing their identity, in my opinion. For me, they're always about creating some new experience, like designing hardware and games together to create some new experience. But Switch 2, as we all anticipated, is a better Switch, right? It's a larger screen, more powerful processor, higher resolution, all the things that PlayStation has been doing for years. Anyway, let me stop. Higher resolution, 4K, 120 frames per second. They even had their hardware person starting the stream as other platforms do. And because it's a better Switch, the core premise of the whole Switch 2 is we made things better. And that's something other companies have been doing all the time. Yoshida reacted coolly to the third-party games shown running on the Switch 2, also noting that while many were popular, such as Cyberpunk 2077 or Elden Ring, They were also pre-existing games from the past console generation. Of course, it's a more powerful Switch, so it's great if your gaming was let me say it again. If your gaming was only on Nintendo's hardware, Yoshida continued. It's the first time for you to play amazing games like Elden Ring, but for us, like the core gamers who own multiple hardware and play games on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, the games they showed off, especially from the third party, in theory, it's amazing to have all those all-stars of industry games on the Nintendo hardware. However, what they showed were like, oh. So that's basically what he said. If y'all, I can keep going if y'all want me to.
No, I think the premise is stated.
So that's a lot. So let me read this part. So let me read through this. Let me read through this last part. Then I feel like we get done. Yoshida went on to acknowledge the games Nintendo showed that use the Switch 2 cameras, peripheral, and mouse controls, including Nintendo's wheelchair basketball game, Drag X Drive. I hope he didn't say this was dope. That's very Nintendo. I was very excited. Trash. This is why I don't buy nothing he said just off that alone. If you thought that was cool, you lie anyway. But suggest that the focus on just being a better Switch was very much Nintendo's main focus, which it should have been. I was personally a bit disappointed because they didn't disappoint this is the line I want to get to. I was personally a bit disappointed because they didn't disappoint everyone, Yoshida said, because everyone wanted the better Switch and Switch 2. What kind of line is that?
What?
I told y'all in the chat. I don't know if Yoshida didn't know what he said, but this to me, out of the heart, the mouth speak. I was personally a bit disappointed because they didn't disappoint everybody. What has Nintendo always done? People want them to just make a better that. Don't change that, just make it better. And y'all change it. And now we got to learn this new thing and accept this new way of playing when we just want a better thing. And Yoshida literally said, I'm mad, I'm disappointed because they didn't disappoint everybody. That is crazy. But anyway, let me stop. Let me calm down. Let me bring it back down. Welcome to the show, Tiger King. Welcome to the show, Dark Wing. Okay, so K-Bum, this is your guy. This is who you rock with for years. You know him well. Translate what Yoshida is saying so we can better understand what he talks about. Go ahead, man.
So here's what I believe he said, and I'm gonna sum it up very quickly. What he said is, "This is why I am an ex-president." Because of terrible takes like this. I'm sorry. I what? Because they didn't disappoint you, disappointed? Like they gave people what they wanted and you disappoint? Like with it? But are you trying to stay relevant? Is this what are you Stephen A? What are you doing? What is going on here? No, I don't agree with this take. I don't agree with his perspective. I don't agree with how he's trying to say it. The Nintendo identity is amazing games. Period. That is their identity. Is making amazing first party games. You can tie the gimmick to it all you want. Nintendo does like gimmicks, but Nintendo at its heart is making great games. They've been making great games since the NES. That's what they do. Make systems and great games. This gimmick idea is when they bowed out of the power race. This is what they picked up to do. Because people forget when Nintendo was about power. People forget those times. Where they were producing more power than other systems. And they weren't pushing the polygon counts. So people just have this short memory about Nintendo. Nintendo has not always been, cheap system, kids can pay for it type of thing. But if you want to be at their core, if you want to take it from the beginning to now, it's always been producing great games. So this take, nah, bro, I don't rock with that. I think we've said this, and we've said that this is a different Nintendo. That doesn't mean it's not Nintendo. That they're just Nintendo approaching it a little bit different. Just like Michael Jordan was known for dunking, right? When he got old age, he couldn't dunk like he used to, and so he developed another part of his game. But LeBron was known for going to the rack and dunking. LeBron shoots more 3-pointers now than he does at any point of his career because he can't get to the cup and dunk the ball like he used to. So he develops another part of his game, but he's still LeBron James. And Nintendo, to me, is going back and flexing a different muscle that they flexed before, but it's still Nintendo. You can't look at Mario Kart and say that that's not Nintendo. You can't look at Metroid Prime 4 and say that's not Nintendo. You can't look at Donkey Kong and say that's not Nintendo. I don't know. I feel weird. These past 3 weeks have been a weird 3 weeks. I have defended Nintendo more than I probably defended Nintendo in my entire time on this podcast. But I think you say, well, it's been a weird 3 weeks, bro. It's been a weird 3 weeks. I got people saying leave Nintendo, and I'm saying no, but this system is dope. So yeah, man, I don't agree with this take. That's I'm not. Actually, I don't want to be long winded. I don't agree with it.
I want you to hold on to that. K-Mon, what did you say? You think the Switch? You think the Switch 2 is what?
A dope system. What I say?
And that's coming from the reason that's going to play into something I'm going to say. I've been wanting to ask this, but I think Darkwing is giving me the power to ask. But I'm going to let Keith come in first, and then I'm going to.
Man, for sure. Man, I'm ready. I 1000% disagree with K-Bone. Oh my God. What is this man talking about? LeBron is known for flopping.
I already heard you in the background. I'm not even responding to you. Go ahead, man.
That's hilarious.
This man is the king. Of flopping.
Go ahead, Keith. Make your point, man. We've been doing good all podcast long, man. Don't do me like that. Come on, now. What's your point? What you saying? What you got to say here?
Flopping. Okay.
He's like one more time.
King of Wii U. Okay. All right. That was it. Oh man, Shuhei. Listen, I don't agree with Shuhei. But I tried to understand where he was coming from, and I'm gonna try to give a different angle. But again, I don't agree with him. But I remember when the initial reveal for the Switch 2 happened in that direct. Now it could have been because of the rumors and everybody was just trying to get information since October all the way until they revealed it in January. There wasn't a lot of people like just super excited, myself included, because I think it was D-Brand that shown the Switch 2. So it was like, really, that's it, and that was kind of the sentiment, and we had to hold on to that until April 2nd, and then April 2nd they showed us, and we was like, oh, yeah, we back in that game, we back in there, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't that same level of excitement or that same level of joy, because this was something that we've already experienced. It literally is a better Switch, which is what we wanted, myself included. We all wanted that. So I understand where he's coming from. He's just wrong, because although he may want Nintendo to be quirky and adventurous and all that other stuff, they are still a company, a business. And what makes sense is to continue doing what made sense. And that's to make a better Switch. So I get it. He want the wacky, the waggle, and all the other stuff. But like K-Bone said, and what I would have said had I gone first, let me
Shut up.
the identity that he's talking about has never left Nintendo. We literally just spent 30 some or 40 some minutes talking about one of their best pieces of their identity, and that was Mario Kart, which is their IPs. That's what they stand on, and their style of IPs. Donkey Kong may not be doing it for me, but there are a lot of people out there on the internet right now, including Levelhead, D2K, all of them, that said Donkey Kong Bonanza looks fantastic because it's in the style.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic to him. It's their identity.
Fantastical.
That's what makes Nintendo. When the Wii came out. When the Wii came out, I wasn't like, oh, waggle, I get the waggle now. No, I was like, how are they going to fit Mario in with this? How are they going to do Mario Kart? Oh my God.
How are we going to play Street Fighter? We're not getting it because we can't play Street Fighters that way. Go ahead.
But we did. That system actually had a Street Fighter.
Yeah, later, and you had to buy we already talked about that.
And a Tatsunoko versus Capcom. But anyways, I digress.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No, let me finish up. But yeah, I was more curious of how they were going to give my favorite IPs to the console that they just gave me. The only one that I can remember not understanding was the Wii U, and I think that the history speaks for itself. Like I was like, I don't know what the screen is supposed to do, but that's where the magic happens. Is with their IPs. And since Shuhei doesn't see that, then he's 1,000% wrong. I understand why he said what he said. I just want to say that one more time before I give it away. I understand why he said what he said because we're so used to Nintendo doing something just blue ocean, just doing something weird and crazy. But what has always remained is their IPs are always top notch.
Okay.
That's it. That's all.
All right. I have some questions. First of all, how do you explain when Yoshida says his disappointment was that no one was disappointed? Oh, no. His disappointment was that Nintendo didn't disappoint anyone. How do you explain that line? How do you explain that take? Right? And then the other thought, and I said this in the comments in the chat room with us, between us, if Yoshida was in the same position and he was the president of the Switch going into the next thing, Yoshida himself wouldn't follow what he wanted Nintendo to follow. He wouldn't do what he said Nintendo disappointed him in. He would not switch up and go away from the phenomenon that, unlike the Wii, see, people, you got to understand, the Wii was a fad that faded. It came in and it went out quick. It was a 2-year run. Them people bought that system, was crazy over that system, and the word of mouth spread it. But Wii Sports was it. It was Wii Sports and a few other top games. So, but the value of the Wii waned way earlier than it left the shelves. Is that fair to say, Keith?
Yeah, I agree.
That's fair. I mean, that's the generation we got shovelware.
Yeah, like
yep.
The Wii did not hold up. The Switch, on the other hand, the Switch has lived for 8 years and it was still thriving. It was just now starting to slow down. 150 million. That means you didn't just hit a fad, you struck oil. The Wii wasn't oil. The Wii was a fad. Soccer moms and everybody wanted to play bowl and grab the remotes. Yeah, nursing home. That was just a fad, and it didn't carry over. Them moms and them grandmas didn't go buy a Wii U. The Switch was oil. The Switch is PlayStation and PlayStation 2. So Yoshida, to me, is that doesn't make any sense. when I know if he was the president overseeing that level of success, he would do the very thing that Nintendo did. Thirdly, goes to something Keith said. And he didn't go as far as I thought he was going to say. Nintendo literally made this statement in their interviews that they wanted to go away from hardware leveled innovations that isolated and alienated people by innovating on the hardware level where we give you some device, some new way of playing that every game has to use. They saw that it alienated people, like the Wii. It served its purpose, but everybody didn't want to play that way. The gamepad. They had an idea for it, Miyamoto, but not everything was realized. So they got this big old gamepad that they're trying to force people to use. I hate to say it, but the GameCube and the GameCube controller.
Oh Lord!
People, they tried to force. They tried to force people. They forced the innovation. What word I'm looking for? The gimmick on the hardware side, where they said we don't have to do that. We can do the gimmick in the software. We can have the gimmick laced with the software where the hardware remains what it is, and you innovate, you do those things in the software, in the games themselves. Donkey Kong, you can destroy anything you want to destroy. Mario Kart, you go off-world. Zelda, open world, go anywhere. Those are the innovations. Those are the changes, and it goes exactly what Keith said. The mindset of Nintendo is our IPs that people want. They don't want us filling them with the way we play so much, because the way we play is a staple. Now you can, but they still did that. They added mouse controls.
Oh yeah.
They added where you can go from mouse controls to what is that? What's the other control? Mouse to
motion
control. Seamless. It still got that Nintendo thing. Nobody else, Sony and Microsoft, not doing mouse controls. So to me, that last line from Yoshida, to me, says a hint of bias and a hint of hate. Then you say, I'm disappointed because they didn't disappoint. That sounds like you still thinking like a Sony president. you hoping that Nintendo come and disrupt this successful system. Now, I'm going to read what, I ain't saying I don't know Yoshida Hart, but I want to read what, I think it was Darkwing said. I gotta find it. He said, I'm telling y'all, they scared. The one thing that was holding them back is no longer a factor. They about to get parity now, and they scared. Then he goes on to say, y'all think they didn't notice the likes of From Freaking Software is making a game for Nintendo? They scared. That's a thought I want y'all to process and give y'all thoughts on it. D2K said this was an embarrassing take from Yoshida. Yeah, it had a lot of embarrassing aspects. Nia said, I think he was drinking. Let me see. I'm trying to see who else. So when Nintendo does gimmicks, they get dumped on. When they ease back on the gimmicks, they get dumped on. People just are never satisfied. Yoshida needs to mind his own dang business. Yoshida needs to get somewhere and sit down. That was D2K. So let me see what Nita said.
Do you think the GameCube controller was trash too? Thank you. I get so much flack for saying that. Good Lord, I hated that controller. Anyway,
I'm the only one that likes it on this podcast. So
to me, the sentiment is okay. Let me read D2K. Well, let me see. Nia said something. Look at how everyone's switching up now. Pun intended. True. So I might be. I might get back to Metroid Other M. Nia, stop that, Nia, stop.
Hey, Metroid Other M. Like, come on now. Stop. Only thing that sucked on that game was the controls.
No, I played that game. That game needed some work. But the controls were
It was
trash.
the controls. The controls trash.
Nintendo got these fools in a tizzy. They literally asking for gimmicks. The thing everyone hated on them for. True. Shouts out. That's true, Dr. Oh, how so let me read these. So underpowered devices was Iwata's vision. That was a small part of Nintendo's history. Like K-Bum said earlier, Nintendo is going back to their old ways, even with the price tag. Yeah, because people act like Nintendo wasn't, now you're playing with power. Like the Wii and the Wii U was a different Nintendo. And it was just, that was survival mode. They don't have, I feel like now that they figured out what they was messing up with, that's having two devices, trying to make games for two different devices, you bring them together, the Switch, and I showed this earlier, the Switch and the DS or the 3DS, basically, if you look at them together, it's the same price. That's what the Switch, if you look at the Wii U and the 3DS, it'd be about $50, $60 more than a Switch 2. So you're getting, now, to me, the Switch, they got away from, they got out that hole. Now, and it was a rush job to get away from the Wii U. Now that they've been successful, they don't have to design two different systems now. They can put a little bit more money. They can put a little bit more of that DS, that 3DS money into their new console that's serving both worlds, so they can spend a little bit more money, because they literally eliminated a device they had to make. So there's extra money there, and man, come on, they doing their thing. Okay, so anyway, who want to take the floor? Is this Yoshida sincere thoughts, or is this some low key hating going on here? Whoever want to take it.
So I thought that statement that Nintendo didn't disappoint everybody, I looked at that a few times, and I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I'm thinking maybe it was a language barrier or something.
Right.
So I'm thinking he's saying that he's disappointed that everybody
not
just simply no that everybody just simply wanted an upgraded version of the Switch, and that they didn't want something like what he wanted was something weird. I want to say that's what he's saying. Like, okay. Oh, really? All y'all just wanted a better version of this? Like, this isn't who Nintendo is. And I think he's saying, dang, I thought everybody was going to be like me, but everybody's actually celebrating and happy about what Nintendo has done. They even got people who were on the fence about Nintendo for years excited about it.
Well, so how do you explain this part then? Because so you responded to the I was personally a bit disappointed because they didn't disappoint everyone. Yoshida said because everyone wanted the better Switch.
Yeah.
And Switch 2. So he understood what people wanted. He literally said, I know what people wanted, and they gave them what they wanted. I'm disappointed because they didn't give them what they wanted.
Yeah, and that's typically what Nintendo does.
Right,
Think about it. They typically don't give people what they want.
Right. So I'm trying to understand, okay, so where is this coming from in Yoshida? So is he saying, I wanted Nintendo to disappoint everybody by doing something different? Something he wouldn't do?
Say that one more time.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Yoshida said, I'm personally a bit disappointed because they didn't disappoint everybody, because everybody wanted the better Switch in Switch 2. So he understands what people wanted. So he's disappointed that Nintendo didn't disappoint and instead of doing what people wanted, he wanted them to go a different way and disappoint everybody.
Right.
For me, that's the only way to take it. So I don't think there's a language barrier here. Yeah, he can't speak English well.
I think it's worded weird.
It's worded goofy, but I think the sentiments is here. He wanted Nintendo to do something different, and he understood that difference would possibly disappoint people because people
Right.
wanted what Nintendo just did. So you saying Nintendo is stupid for doing what people wanted?
I think he's using history to say Nintendo usually goes in a different direction than what people typically want. I mean, you think about it, he was the president of Sony, and he typically just did what people wanted. And that's how they were successful. So I guess he's mad that they didn't come up with some, like, you got to play with your toes now. You know, I got the Switch, you got the button on the floor and you play with your toes. Like, Nintendo didn't do that. They just kept it standard and added a few features that made sense, like pointer controls and stuff like that. They pretty much gave the people what they want. They did what he would do.
So let me read D2K. I think he's saying it right. I guess what he may have been trying to say is that Nintendo has perfected the ability to take something that's on the surface doesn't make sense, but make it make sense. Does that make sense? Do y'all get what he's saying?
I don't know, D2K. Let me read it again.
Read it again. I guess what he may have been trying to say is that Nintendo has perfected the ability to take something that on the surface didn't make sense. Gamepad, Wiimote, and nunchuck, and then turn around and make it make sense to you. So you might have didn't think you wanted it, and you probably didn't want it, but they make you understand and appreciate it after the fact. You didn't ask for it, you didn't want it. You didn't want the gamepad, you didn't want the Wiimote and nunchuck. But I'ma still say no because the Wii was unsuccessful, and the Wiimote and nunchuck wore out his welcome quick. And no one likes the gamepad control. I mean, the GameCube controller. And people fuss because it was, bro. I like it for what the games Miyamoto made for it, but just as a controller, I always had a problem with it as far as when you was playing non-Nintendo games, like Soul Calibur, and they had to literally change it to make it make sense for the GameCube instead of the traditional way we play fighters. So it was only acclimated for Nintendo first party stuff. So
that was the last Nintendo controller with triggers.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say with analog triggers at that. I'm gonna say, but that was even though the Wii was successful, the Wii U was their worst. The Wii U was the worst of that. The GameCube didn't do great, and the 64 didn't do great. All that different stuff actually failed other than the DS and 3DS, which was kind of more normal than anything that the home console was doing because you still had traditional controls on those devices. So I'm going to say their weird stage wasn't as successful. The Switch is not weird. The Switch is probably, to me, the Switch was the return to a normal. It did something unique and different, but the approach to it was a normal approach. A traditional controller, the way we used to playing with triggers and normal map buttons and all that type of stuff. No weird slanted big button over here, small button here with a C stick and a big A and none of that stuff. That's a traditional, but you could do all these odd and different things with the Joy-Cons, take them out, play. It still was Nintendo, but it was traditional enough to be normal. And look at what the Switch has done. So, look at the Super NES, look at the NES, which they pretty much was the I guess they are the reason all the other systems are what they are. The Super NES is why the PlayStation and all the ones got the controls that they have. Nintendo started that, and now they're returning back to what they started. That little window of trying to be different for different sake, I don't know if that was successful. I don't even know if we can say that was successful. Other than the Wii. Them trying to be different failed, especially on home console. The GameCube failed. The Wii phenomenon phased out. Wii U did. Only thing was worse than that was the Dreamcast, and then the Switch, which was a return back to a normal. So I don't know. I don't know what Yoshida talking about.
You keep omitting the handhelds, the GBAs,
I said
the
GBA,
DS, the 3D. You did?
I said they was normal. They was more of a normal because the controls were normal. You had a normal D-pad. You had a normal button layout. Yeah, you had a dual screen. You had a screen in the middle. You got what you got with the Switch now. That's why the Switch is so familiar, because it's something we've been doing forever. It's not different. It's normal. You understand what it is. You had to figure out what the Wii was. You had to figure out what is the GameCube, the gamepad, this dual screen, big old tablet controller in my hand. I liked it, but there was so many. With the handhelds, they was pretty much normal. You added a second screen, but the controls were normal. You added 3DS, a 3D screen, but again, the controls is normal. The Switch is more in that line of them devices, and all of them devices been successful. It was the home console weird stuff that was that was not been successful. So I don't know if they weird stage was successful. I don't know. That might be a topic we need to explore another time. But somebody laughing out loud. So any final thoughts on this? K-Bum, Yoshida, is he hating or you didn't share?
No, I think it's a. I don't know. I think people with the Switch 2 are making terrible takes. I think this is one of them, and I think if I'm really honest with myself, I think it's borderline hating. If I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting from. I'm getting like Sony president hating and like I said in the chat, I think they so shocked that Nintendo did this, and it's not really un-Nintendo. Like if you've been there from the get-go, this is very Nintendo. It's just not Iwata, and I'm not even gonna discredit Iwata because I think this was his vision. He had to get them out the mud. They was drowning in these two big entities coming in the game, as Sony and Microsoft, and we this small little company. So they had to figure out a lane for themselves to survive at that time. Now that everything has kind of caught up and there's diminishing returns and technology, we kind of hit a glass ceiling. Nintendo flexing in this moment. We can flex in our own way and can compete without having to spin and do exactly what Sony and Microsoft have done. We can flex because the times are caught up. And so, yeah, I think Yoshida kind of little hating here and I think it goes to what Dark Queen said. There may be a little of that Sony president still in him that fears what this means if Nintendo can get this close to parity with those other devices, because that was always what separated Nintendo was you go over there to play Nintendo titles, but now you see these games that's running on the system that I can see myself opting to play that game not on the PlayStation 5 but the Switch 2. I definitely can. On some of those titles, I'll be willing to do that. So, anyway. So I don't want to discredit Iwata. He had to do what he had to do, but I think this is Iwata's, because the person that took over, Iwata trained. He didn't want to put him in position. So now I feel like Miyamoto hand is getting out the way. I definitely feel like they moving his butt on out the way. I'm telling you, I feel like Miyamoto is long out, is in the rear view, because a lot of what they're doing now doesn't seem like Miyamoto at all. Because he will want some quirky, weird controller that's basically for his creation, and it turns into the hardware. That's what they were doing, and it was failing. But these young guys like, no, we're going to keep the hardware and make sense with the hardware, and we innovate in the software. And that's literally what they said. That's not Miyamoto. And that's probably why you're not seeing him as much. So, last thing, the PlayStation 5 has went up in price. Let me see if I can find it, and then we can get out of here. Play as 5 price went up. K-Bum, floor is yours.
This is a little concerning to me because this is not built around the tariff situation because the price didn't increase in America. The price increased in other places like UK, Australia, and so on and so on. So to me, this is a little concerning because I know that Nintendo is releasing a brand new console, and that's some of the most important time in the life cycle of the console is the launch of it. And so a lot of the conversation has been around Nintendo and their new system, but Sony isn't exempt from this impact of tariffs, and the fact that they're increasing in other areas already um, doesn't loom well for America, which is going to get hit with, or and China is being hit with some of the highest tariffs that we've ever given, not ever given, that we've recently given. Let me say that. So I don't know. This doesn't feel good. I know for those customers in those countries, it doesn't feel good for them. If you actually look at the Australian market, and I looked at one of the videos when they were talking about the price of the Switch. Is the games over there are really high, just in general. But that's not. I won't use that to give PlayStation a pass because I think this is just. I think America is going to happen in America. I know they use these other countries to offset America because the sales they make in America is much higher than these other locations. But I do feel that a price increase may be coming to America, especially if these tariffs continue the way they are. I don't think Sony can justify keeping the PlayStation 5 kind of where it is with the level of tariffs that's going on right now. So to me, like I said, my point of view is this is concerning.
So how I'm looking at it, I'm having a hard time understanding the I guess this currency in I guess UK's currency in dollar. So what's
pounds?
the pounds like?
Pounds
What
to
is that
dollars?
in dollars? Yeah. So if it's right now, it's saying it's 4.99 £99. The digital edition launch price in Europe, which was 399.99, it's went up by £100, I
Oh,
guess.
not well. I just got new news now. Now I looked this up.
Okay.
Even more than that, I just see an article that says Sony increases PS Plus price in 20 countries following PS5 price. So not only has the price of the PS5 increased, not as of 9 hours ago, there's an article saying that PlayStation Plus has increased in 20 countries.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
okay.
so
This is
so I
not
read it.
in,
I read it really quick. So
this
the
is not
essential,
tariff.
which was
Is
sorry,
this
say what?
you said this is not tariff related too, right?
No, no. This is
Okay.
this is
No.
digital. This is the PlayStation Plus. That's nothing physical with PlayStation Plus. It's all online gaming. That's what the PlayStation Plus is. And you see that what was once $95 for the essential plan is not 110. The extra, which was 155, is not 190. The premium, which was 190, is now $225. This is Canadian money.
Okay. Go ahead then.
And so, like I said, I was just trying to look up the prices for uh the system, but now, like I said, the prices also increase for uh the PlayStation Plus. So, like I said, that doesn't feel good at all. Um, so yeah. I think they're preparing. Like, they're using these other countries to supplement what they have to do for America. Because, like I said, this is what, like, 4 countries, and the PlayStation Plus increase was 20 countries, 20 plus countries.
Okay. You said you was finna read something?
No, I read the prices already.
Okay,
Sorry.
He read
okay.
the prices. And in that article, it says, yikes. The fact that Sony wants people to spend over 200 in Canada on that subscription is wild. And keep in mind, at least for now, none of these plans are getting new features or expanded game libraries or anything that would help make the price increases more palatable.
That's true.
If you live in one of these countries and like playing games online, you will pay more for PlayStation Plus sub and get nothing extra in return.
That's true.
And Mario Kart price looking kind of good right now. No, I'm playing.
Please stop that. Please stop that, brother. These two have nothing to do with each other.
Nothing to do with each other.
And they not explaining why they raising the price?
They rose
the
the price last year too, I believe.
Yeah.
In America, at least I know that.
That's interesting, man. When the price is supposed to be coming down, Nintendo still selling the Switch at its normal prices. The PlayStation 5 went up twice, and when it's supposed to be going backwards, it's going up. That's crazy.
And PlayStation 5. You mean wait? You mean the system didn't go up twice? This is two different things. This is the system, and then this is the subscription.
So the system went up.
PlayStation Plus.
The PlayStation Plus has gone up a couple of times, I believe.
So the system just went up in price. This is what we're talking about right now, right?
No. So what we initially talking about was the system.
Yes. Okay.
That was the initial price. The initial price that you were talking about with UK, Australia, New Zealand, and other places. That was the system increase.
My mom was still there. My bad.
But what I just read was the PlayStation Plus, the subscription service going up in price. Well, me and Keith read that was the subscription service going up in price.
Dang, boy. So how much is that again? Because I was typing all this stuff and trying to find an article.
No problem.
I wasn't listening.
So the initial subscription went up. What is that? $25. The extra went up $35. And then the premium went up $35.
So, and they just raised the plus here some too, didn't they? Because it went up like $10, $10 or $20.
That was like last year though. That wasn't. I don't think that was this year. I think that was last year.
How much did it go up here last year?
I do not remember.
Because it's like 70 or 80 now. It was like 59. I could get it back in the day. Now it's like 79, I think. So I think it went up like $20-$30. Man,
yeah, right. The Canadians they spending bread on video games, bro. They tax big time, bro. But the thing is, this isn't tariff. This isn't one thing. This
doesn't have anything to do with tariffs, bro.
This is digital. This is all this PlayStation Plus stuff is all digital.
Yeah.
And even in the prices for the actual PlayStation is increasing in countries that's not America. So New Zealand. So I don't. Maybe they're preparing or they're using this to offset. Maybe that's what they're trying to do with it. But yeah, man, that's. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's terrorists, but it's not. America isn't increasing yet. Not yet.
Right. So I don't know how to pronounce the other countries' dollars or whatever, but this is the other article from Kotaku when they talked about the PlayStation 5 itself. The digital edition at launch in Europe, it was $400, and now it's $500. In the UK, $360. Now it's $430. In Australia, it launched at $600. Now it's $750. New Zealand, my God, it's $650. It launched at $650 and is now $860.
Jesus.
And that's just the digital edition. The standard edition in Australia launched at $750 and now it's $830. And in New Zealand again it's $820 and now it's $950 for the standard edition PlayStation 5.
This is a random question because I'm looking this stuff up. Who is Dreamcast guy? Like, is he an Xbox guy or something? What is he?
I don't know.
He's a parasite. That's what he is.
Ooh.
I see some of his stuff and it is always loaded with hate on. But I always took it that is he for Microsoft?
No, he's not. No.
He hates and latches onto whatever's going to get in the views.
Okay, so he's just a trend chaser. Okay.
Yep.
So he a drifter. All right.
So a couple more facts to this. right? Sony on their own website said, with a backdrop of a challenging economic environment, including high inflation and fluctuating exchange rates, SI has made the tough decision to raise the recommended retail price of PlayStation consoles in Europe, Middle East, Africa, Australia, New Zealand. So that's what they're citing is a challenging economic environment, high inflation, and fluctuating exchange rates.
So they still lose money on this PlayStation 5 then?
No, I don't think they are. I don't think they're losing money. I think they're trying to help profit margins. I don't think they're losing money.
Me as some Dreamcast guy is whoever he needs to be in the moment. That's crazy. So he's a chameleon. Go ahead, K-Bone, my bad.
No problem. PlayStation Pro did not change. The PlayStation Pro price did not change. The most of the change that we're seeing is the digital edition. And what they did to try to offset that is that they actually lowered the price of the disk drive to try to give some help for the price increase. So the Pro didn't change. Most places it was just the digital edition, but in Australia and New Zealand, both versions got increased. But they went ahead and gave a decrease in price to the disk drive. So that's just in totality the changes.
Okay, well, man, I hate to hear that.
Spells trouble to me. Spells trouble.
Yeah. Is something going on that they ain't telling us?
Stuff is expensive.
Stuff is inflation too.
Yeah.
But it's a lot going on in the world.
It costs to play. It costs to play, I guess. I hate to hear that. Man, I'm just glad I already got. I don't have no intention on getting no PlayStation 5 Pro. I got my PlayStation 5. I don't know if the PlayStation 6. I know what they're saying, but how things going, and they still raising the price on the PlayStation 5. I don't know when that 6 is coming. So I'm happy that I already got it. I'm getting this Switch too, and that's gonna be it for me. At that point,
that's a wrap.
Man, they showing Cyberpunk running on the handheld, man, on the Switch too. It looks very glorious. Dude, I might get Cyberpunk, bro.
Don't do this. No,
I'm serious. No, I'm dead serious. I was looking at it earlier today, and I was like, you know what? I might get this game. I'm serious, K-Bump. I might get it.
Are you time stamping this, Keith?
It took him 30 years.
I'm telling you guys.
Switch tech.
I don't know why.
Same guy who wanted to play The Witcher 2, right?
No, I didn't want to play The Witcher. I played The Witcher because y'all talked about it. Y'all convinced me to get it, and I realized I ain't want to play this game. This game looks. I might get this game, man. I didn't like when I first saw The Witcher. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but y'all kept talking. I went and watched video after video. I was like, yeah, them graphics do look amazing. Man, I was like, man, I got it. I didn't like how I controlled or nothing. I was like, man, I don't want to play this, man. And I didn't end up playing it. So
best game of the generation. That's my opinion.
I might get this. I might get this, man. I might get it on the Switch too. Just letting y'all know.
I mean, I'll say this. You probably already know this. It's an open world game. It ain't just open world. It ain't a straightforward shooter. So it ain't just like do this, do that, do that. It's you in there, and you got a character build, and you build your character how you want him to be. You could be cybernetic and all this other stuff, or you could just be brute strength. However you want to build them.
First name basis, DJ Fanatic. What's up, man?
Oh man, I ain't heard you in a while.
I ain't said that name in a minute. Welcome to the show, bro. But it looks good, dude. It looks really, really good.
It does.
On the Switch. I'm not going to front.
You see what Darkwing said?
What'd he say? Me too? Oh, yeah. No, wait a minute.
No. He said I played
through Witcher 3 five times. The game that got me off of
Yeah, I knew I liked Darkwing.
The game that got me off. Oh, the game that got me off of playing Breath of the Wild? Okay. All right. Well,
No. The game that got me off of it was Breath of the Wild. So the only thing that stopped him from playing Witcher was Breath of the Wild.
Got you. I was trying to. I wasn't reading it right. Mine's tiny on this screen and I'm looking in, so I can barely see stuff.
And he played through Cyberpunk 3 times. I only played through it twice.
Man, bro. I told you last week. I'm like, brother, I commend you because there ain't no way. But anyway, that was the show for tonight. Hope we'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Maybe we won't talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. Likely we will. Good times, especially when you have K-Ball defending Nintendo. You know it's a good time. Oh my God. 3 weeks of weirdness, he said. It's been weird. I'm defending Nintendo from Nintendo fans. This is weird. But I'll let these dudes sign out, starting with K-Ball. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, man. I enjoyed the podcast. Definitely less drama this podcast, but we don't know what next week may hold. We'll see. Stay tuned. But enjoy the podcast, the conversation. You guys lit up this comment section today. Good Lord. I was going ham. It was very good to see some returning names. Definitely good to see you, DJ Fanatic. First name basis. Ain't seen you in a good little minute. Happy you was able to stop by, man. But all in all, enjoyed the podcast. Maybe we'll fight next week. Maybe we not. You never know. You got to tune in.
All right. Mr. Norris.
Hey, y'all still in the corner. Y'all still listening to us. Since K-Ball is on this positive Nintendo wave, which Zelda should he play? I think he should play Tears of the Kingdom because he was saying he liked the updates that they're doing. Should he play Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild? Y'all chime off if y'all still in there. But y'all probably already said tonight, but it's all good. Oh man, what a diabolical way to say it might be a fight next week. Let's find some topics. No, man, it was a good conversation. I think we dissected the Mario Kart topic pretty good. Hopefully Nintendo doesn't continue the trend, but we'll see. Great talking to everybody in the chat, man. Like K1 said, y'all kept it lit. And hopefully we have some new exciting information to talk about and we get a chance to rap with y'all again. Until next time. One tears.
Yeah, man, I did all what was said. It was a good podcast on tonight. No K-Bum, level head argument.
Read more THQ games.
we do enough.
I'm sorry, level.
We do enough of that in the chat room. We don't need to bring that on here. And don't let Keith fool you. He way more active and way more argumentative in the chat. He just hides it on the podcast. I'm gonna get him one of these days. I'm gonna pull him into a back and forth and see what he does. But he always gaslight me and K-Bum. I always add fire on it, gasoline on the flame. But yeah, man, as I watch this Dr. Trey video, I don't know. I might be on total nuclear meltdown after I watch this Dr. Trey video, because I got to get mine out, because they pulling all my points out when it comes to Digital Foundry. But I want to send a shout out to everybody that tune in. D2K, First Name Basis, Darkwing, Tiger King, the video game Herd, Chariot Man, Comic Book Crunch, Island Steve. Who else was up here? Dark 301. Man, y'all was in here on the night. I gotta go too far up in so many comments. But anyway, if I didn't call your name, count it to the mind, not the heart. We just thank y'all all for being here. Make sure y'all get those likes up. Make sure y'all share. We trying to grow and expand and get our podcast back out there. I believe we one of the best that's doing it right now. But anyway, this was the Live and Level Gamers podcast. Nia, when you gonna come back on, Nia? You keep K-Bum and Keith under control for Level can actually get his points out. Nia, come back. I need a sidekick. I need somebody to defend me. keep where y'all at. Why y'all ain't saying that? Anyway,
You talk crazy. That's all it is.
Right now.
this is the Live Low Game Podcast.
But we
Till
got
next time,
smashed, bro.
deuces. Peace.
But we got smashed, bro.
Keith in the comment section talking stuff. Lakers out of here. I caught that.